guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Shayla. So for today's video is going to be a holiday glam. I love holiday glams. I love getting super glam. So today is going to be dedicated to getting super glittery and just, you know, a little bit extra than my usuals. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so as always, we're going to get the hair out of the way. It's been so long since I have seen my hair straightened or like anything besides curly, and it feels very new to me. Not sure. So I'm actually going to start out with Complexion today rather than my usual eyes first, only because I am going to be dealing with a little bit of glitter, so I don't want like glitter to fall and then mix in with my foundation and then I have glitter everywhere. So we are going to do Complexion first. And my eyebrows are already done. I had to do them off camera because my eyebrows were just not cooperating with me today, and I still don't like them, but they will just have to do. So to prep the face, I'll be using the NYX Bear With Me facial spray. I need extra hydration today because it's cold and I feel like my face just has been getting drier than usual. So I'm actually going to be priming with two primers today. This is my OG like primer that I always use since the beginning of time. This is the e.l.f. Lit From Within primer. They don't have this one anymore, but it is like the, I think it's like the illuminating primer that they have. This is the exact same thing, I believe. But this gives me like smooth skin and like a little bit of hydration. And then I'll be using the Milk Hydro Grip primer as well, just for extra hold to my foundation. When I just use the other primer alone, I feel like I always have to pair it with something else just to grip on the makeup, because it can, because I have oily skin, it can like move. A great dupe to this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop primer, and I was actually going to use it today, but I forgot to bring it over here to my filming room, I guess what you want to call it, and I had this one here already. So for foundation, I'll be using the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. Absolutely love this foundation. I haven't used it in quite a while, only because this is my winter shade, like when I am very like deep into winter. Like I don't know if this is even gonna match me today. I think it is, because I've been feeling very like not my usual bronze self. So yeah, I cannot use this at all in spring and summer and even fall, because I still have my summer color, so I can really only use it in the winter. I feel like the last time I used it was probably like the end of winter probably, or like early spring. And even when I used it early spring, like it did not work for me. And this foundation does oxidize a little bit, but like not enough to, you know, get to like, you know, my fall like skin color or anything. So for concealer, I'll be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer, and this is in the shade 350. And in case you were wondering, the shade I'm in the foundation is Sable 21. This is my winter shade. I feel like that I'll be like the next color up in summer, which I really want to get it because I absolutely love this foundation. I'm actually going to add a little bit more just because I want more coverage, and I'm just gonna let it sit. And then I'll do here too. I'm gonna let it sit before I blend it. So in the meantime, I'll be using the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and this is in the shade Bronzed Belle. I'll be using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH08 brush. I really love this brush for this one, for like this putty bronzer. So now to set all the places I added concealer to, I'll be using the Ben Nye Luxury Powder in Banana. And you guys already know this is like all I use practically. I have other things, but nothing, oops, nothing sets my concealer like the way I wanted to, like this one. Now my other favorite is the Patrick Star One Size Beauty powder, like the loose powder. I love it, but like the tone of this one is what I absolutely love. But that one definitely gives me like the same like setting, like the smoothness underneath my eyes. It definitely does the same, but it's the tone of this one that I really love. That one, the other one is a little bit, the One Size Beauty one is a little bit lighter. It's like a really light banana shade. And I'm going to leave it like that, a little bit like powdery and dusty, only because I want to set the edges, like the bronzer, and I want to let like some of that powder just stay on there just a little bit. So to bring back some warmth to my face, I'll be using the LA Colors Mineral Pressed Powder, and this is in the shade Toffee. And this is not a bronzer, it's just a pressed powder. But when I got this, this was, if you watched my 5 and Below, full face of 5 and Below makeup, this is where I got it. And that foundation that I got from there was way too light, and this is what saved my life. So once in a while, when I feel like my foundation is just a tad bit too light and I feel like I need more warmth, I will use this powder. So I'm picking that up with the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH02 brush. I'm just gonna go around like the perimeters of my face, dusting it all over. I'm just gonna pick up this really light brush, and it is the JH06. By the way, all the brushes I'll be using are from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collection, so I'll just be going off by the number. So this is the JH06. It's a really light, fluffy brush. I'm gonna dust away some of that powder. And just to clean up like the, I guess the bronzer contour, I'm going to dip in the rest of the powder that I had picked up, that had dipped in here, that I had poured in here. And I'm going to just very lightly dust this here, just to clean that up a little bit. I didn't want to bake because then I feel like I get such a harsh contour, and I don't like that. I like more of a very soft, natural contour. I realized I set my face and I wanted to use this Rare Beauty liquid blush. However, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to put it on top of the powder. I have seen that it does still work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up with a brush, just a tad, because this is very like, there's a lot here. So let's see. Okay. It's a nice shade. I can definitely see the spots like where I initially like stamped it in because of the powder, but the more I blend, the more it's like going away. But it's a really pretty shade. This is actually shade Love. I think maybe the sponge might work a little bit better with it, so I'm going to try that next. I'm going to try the other side with the sponge. I might stamp it with my finger on my cheek. I think I kind of like the brush better. Let's think a little bit more. I feel like the sponge kind of picked up I removed some of it, so I think the brush is a little bit better. But that looks super pretty. And to set the blush, I'll be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush, and this is in the shade Mellow Wine. And if you guys are OGs, you guys know this is my favorite blush ever, like my favorite shade. This is the new formula, like new packaging, so the shade is a tad bit different from the original. The original is a little bit more peachy, but I still love this shade. And of course, I always overdo it, so I'm just gonna dust some of it away. Stamp some away. Okay, we're going to move on to eyes. So my eyes are pretty much primed because I put foundation, I put concealer on them, and then I set them with powder. So they're already prepped. So all I have to do is dive straight into eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using a few shades in here in the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. If you guys haven't noticed already, I absolutely love all of Jaclyn Hill's products, like with Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics as well, or Jaclyn Cosmetics, I should say. So I'm going to pick up this shade right here. It's the shade Shush. It's like a cool, very cool brown, and I'm going to dust that all over the outer V of my eyes. And I'll be picking that up with this brush right here, JH31. It is a very fluffy, like dense brush, so it's really good for precision. So next I'm going to be picking up this super black shade at the end right here. It is called Temptress. Excuse the dirtiness of the palettes. And I'm going to pick it up with JH37. It is a small, dense black brush. So when I dip into it, I'm only going to take a very tiny bit, and I'm going to work in very light strokes, I guess, because black can get messy very, very quickly. But basically, I'm going to keep it out here. And I'm going to build it up, but I'm going to leave it right in this corner right here. Okay, so I want it like that deep, probably a little bit deeper, but I'm not going to touch it right now, getting it deeper only because I'm going to then blend a little bit more. I'm going to move on to the other eye and get to this point, and then I'll show you what I'll keep doing. Okay, so now picking up the brush that I use to put in the Shush shade, I'm going to just fluff around like the edges and blend that out a little bit. Just smoke this out. You see how some of that black like disappeared a little bit and it got a little bit less intense, but it got smoky. It's what I want, but then we'll add a little bit more just to deepen up that black a little bit. I'm gonna drag it out a little bit to like make a V and just bring it up and blend. Something that helps me with these type of like eyeshadow looks is I will have the mirror, how I have it right now, it's kind of like slanted, and then I'll kind of look up like this, so my eyes are like flat, so that way it kind of gives the illusion like when I'm looking down, which helps a lot with the blending and placement of the eyeshadow process. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick up a tad bit of more black, tap off the excess, and focus it again at that outer corner just to deepen that up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to Okay, so I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm just going to add that like where I don't have the black. I'm going to add that in very lightly, and I'm picking this up with, putting this on with the Morphe M124 brush. So I'm going to put just a little bit here. Or actually, I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and pick it up with the brush. I'm going to be using the Ulta Glitter Eye Top Coat, and this is in Fairy Princess. I'm just going to pick that up with my finger, kind of tap that in like this, and just dab that right on there. Like so. I'm going to try to add a little bit more, see if it'll pick it up. Okay. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. And with that fluffy brush I was using earlier to dust away powder, I'm going to dust away any of this glitter fallout that I just had. And now typically I would put like an eyeshadow underneath like this, but because the way that this glitter is like a pressed glitter and it's very compact, it gives a nice, like it has like eyeshadow in it where I don't have to do that. So my other option was going to be using a loose glitter, which is like this one right here. Oops, my hair's on it. It's like white. But with something like this, you would need probably like an eyeshadow underneath just to give like, to fill in the empty spaces of this glitter. I almost feel like I want to add a little bit of this. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it is like a white, whoop, some of it fell, shimmery powder. I think I'm going to add a little bit of more of the glitter primer. Tap that in there. And then with my finger, pick up some of this glitter. And that just gave it a little bit more of a oomph to it. And again, with that same brush, dust away any of that just fell off. Okay, and to intensify this look just a little bit more, we're going to add some black eyeliner. So I'm going to use the Essence Super Fine Eyeliner. And we're just going to, you know, do an eyeliner. For eyelashes, I'll be using the Salon Perfect Wing Demi Collection Metamorphosis Eyes Lashes, and these are in the number 690. And to put this on, I'll be using the Kiss Lash Adhesive. You guys, so I realized I didn't put any mascara on before putting on this eyelash, so I'm going to quickly put on Essence Lash Princess mascara on this side, like so. And then on the other eye, I'm just going to put it on right like this because, whoops, I forgot. For the lower lash line, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the black and a little bit of the brown as well. Mix them together to run that underneath my entire lash line. And this is the JH38 brush. So for my waterline, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild eyeliner and Calling Your Buff. This is just a nude liner to open up the eyes. And Lash Princess on the lower lashes. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the LA Colors Highlight in Shine Bright, and it is a like goldeny champagne shade. If you watched my full face of Dollar Tree makeup, you would see that this was the star of the entire video. It is such a pretty highlight, beaming highlight. My freaking battery died, so as I was saying, this highlight is absolutely beautiful. I have to be very careful with how much I put on because it's very much of a beaming highlight. So I do like a light touch just so I can get exactly what I need and not overdo it. And now I want to add a little bit of that highlight in my inner corner, so I'll be picking that up with the JH39 brush. That. Kind of want to go for the vampy look and, you know, like the complete glam vibes. So I'm going to go in with this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in number 12 Bordeaux. And it is like a burgundy shade. And for lipstick, I'll be using this Milani lipstick. It is a matte shade and it is in the shade Flirty. It is also a really pretty burgundy shade. I think this lip color is such a pretty like winter shade in general, like definitely holiday color, definitely all winter shade. Now to set it all and seal it all in, I'll be using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. All right, you guys, this is the final look. What do you guys think? I hope you guys like it. It's a very like I was saying with the lip, it is a very like wintry type of makeup look, but definitely perfect holiday glam. So definitely Christmas, definitely New Year's, especially with the glitter, you know, because we like to be sparkly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys liked this makeup look. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.